Hi everyone, and welcome to the Ready Cloud Collaboration mobile demo. What we'll be taking you through today over the next few minutes is how to set up the demo, and then some scenarios that you may want to take your customers through using the various devices that are inside. So what's in the box? When unpacking, you'll see that it's been packed in a particular way. We'll ask that it be returned to the next demo in the same way. So please pay attention to how it's set up. We've got some mobile devices, smartphones and tablets. We've got the Windows 8 HP touchscreen laptop, very nice device. We also have some phones with their stands, a couple of IP phones for demonstration purposes, and then inside we've got a router, a switch and an access point. These things you won't need to be too bothered about. Cables for the phones, cables for your internet. Now a couple of things to note here. First thing we need to do is power the unit up. No need to plug anything in from the inside, it's all been done. You just need to power this into a hot point. And from an internet perspective, there are two ways you can do this demo. Ideally, you want some what we call naked internet, some DSL or some basic internet access. So we want DHCP active so we can get an IP address, and also we don't want firewalls or any proxies in the way. So it will pay to work with your customer before you head out to see if that's available. Like I say, 3G is available, but it's ideal if you can get some internet access. And that just simply can be plugged using this cable, or if the access is nearby, straight into the wall. So nice and simple. And once powered up, we can work through plugging in the various devices. Okay, next we're going to set up the phones. A little bit of manual work here, nothing too onerous. Basically, we've got the phone and the stand. The stand fits into these two areas at the back. You know when you're doing it right because Cisco's facing up. And we just clip them in. Takes a little bit of force. Don't worry, you're not going to break it. And there, the phone can be set up. We'll do it again with this one. Cisco facing up, into the two slots. Takes a bit of force, as you can hear it clip. Now connecting the phones. We have here labelled phone B, and we have here clearly labelled phone B. It plugs into the network port. It's important. It's the one on the left. It's labelled network. And when we plug it in, we see immediately that the phone is going through its startup diagnostic. That takes about 3 to 5 minutes. Same again. IP phone A, we've labelled it. Network port. Plug it in, and then we have it going through the diagnostic. Now we're going to set up some of the mobile devices, like the laptop. We say mobile because it's using Wi-Fi, and it could be used anywhere. Unlike the phones we've just shown you, which are fixed connectivity. We've got some power here, nicely folded up in the unit. We'll ask you to do the same thing again, please. And that's plugged into the laptop. We'll open up the laptop and hit the power button. So now I'm just going to log the laptop in. It should be pretty automated. We just left click as usual. Now we'll put in, it's set up as Glenn Behrman, yours truly, and the password is Cisco. We'll see Windows 8 start up. Down on the left here, we have desktop. And once on desktop, we have Cisco Jabber. So here we are with the Windows desktop, Windows 8 desktop. We're going to get Jabber working. We see it's connecting automatically, so we just need to double click on Jabber on the desktop. Then we have our own availability, green, and then we have other users on the system, and we see Carl Mortimer's available and others are not. So very similar IM and presence that we're used to. So now the tablet device. From the lock screen, we enter the 4-digit password. We see Jabber here on the desktop. We connect Jabber. It's going to connect automatically. It's already connected to Cisco, which is the access point, and it will already be set up that the users just connect automatically. We see there now that we can see that Glenn Behrman is available and I could IM in presence from the tablet. Hi everyone, so next we're going to do the Android device, the Samsung. So we're going to power it up. Power button's there on the right hand side. Again, this will automatically connect to the Wi-Fi, the Cisco Wi-Fi that we've got running on the demo. So as usual, it takes a little bit of time to fire up. So once the Samsung's running, we just scroll over to where we see Jabber and Jabber IM. And we're going to use Jabber IM for today's purposes. We'll see it's connecting, and now it's available. And we see our users come up on the screen. So there we have it. We've set up the demo. We've connected to the internet using the internet cable, or we can use the 3G if we've got good coverage. We've got the switch, the router, and the access point working fine when we powered them up. We have the 2 IP phones working, clearly labelled, and we've shown you how to connect those. We've got the laptop, and then we've got your various wireless devices. So from here, we can actually start taking you through the quick 5-minute demo. So now we're actually going to run through some demo scenarios. Again, this just gives you the foundation for how you may take a customer through some of the scenarios. But keep in mind it would be good to come out at least an hour to maybe half an hour before your demonstration so you can A, set up, and B, run through some of these scenarios yourself. We've got the IP phones, we've got the Jabber running on the Windows 8 HP laptop device. We also have the Apple iPad running Jabber, and the Samsung Android device running Jabber. So let's get started with the first scenario. A call from a phone to a phone. So I dial the number, and using the touch screen, I hit call. We see the call is ringing on this device. We can use the traditional way of answering the call, lifting the handset, or from a hands-free perspective, just hitting answer. Now the first thing we notice is that we have video. Now let's keep in mind this is a phone call, but with video. And that's a key difference of how we're demonstrating here with the cameras on these 2 devices. From a video perspective during the call, we've got a couple of options. We can hit the screen to hide video, press again to show video. We can either turn video off here and actually put the call on hold, which actually stops video to the other caller, and reinitiate the call as well from a video perspective. We can also, using the aperture on the camera, stop video from a manual perspective. So even though we've shown the demonstration here as video in a native mode, there are many ways that you can stop the video working, or the system can be configured to not show video on a call first up. So now we're just going to end the call that we had between the 2 IP phones, and then move to making a call from the Jabber running on the Microsoft platform. Here we have a Windows 8 with a touch screen. Now key to note here is we have presence information available. We can instant message from the platform here. We also have the ability to access our contacts via Active Directory, start a WebEx, check our voicemail, and make phone calls as well. And we'll make a phone call by hitting Calm Automate and then just touching the phone icon there. We see the phone is calling. We'll again use the touch screen to answer the call. And then again, because we have cameras on the 2 devices, on the IP phone and the built-in camera here on the Windows machine, then what we actually have is a video call. And I can just tap on the screen and make that a full screen video call. And you can see that the quality is not too bad, and from a user that's working from home or from a remote office, that would be quite adequate. And again, the same there on the likes of the IP phone as well. I can then simply end the call. I can either mute the call, I can bring other users in, or I can end the call by just hitting the red icon. And what you'd probably also have here from a scenario of the likes of, say, a call center agent or someone working from home is also a headset. And we're quite used to scenarios like that. So that's a call from the Jabber client on the Microsoft device to an IP phone. So now we're going to show a call from the iPad. We've got the Apple iPad as a tablet scenario here today, again running Jabber. And can we see here on our contacts, Carl Mortimer and Glenn Behrman available. I can see here Carl's available. I'm going to hit call, make a call to him. Same scenario, we answer the call either using the handset or answer on the touch screen. And again, because we have video cameras on these two devices, it is a phone call with video. And you can see there on the iPad that I'm making the call and through onto the phone as well. Nice and simple. And from here, what we can also do is either continue to chat with a user that has a soft client running like Jabber. We can mute the call. We can put the call on hold. We can resume the call. Other options are to transfer or add a call, and of course to simply end the call as well. So the scenario there is from a tablet device to a phone using Jabber as the client on the device. Now we're going to show the scenario of what we might call a mobile worker within the business. I move away from my desk. I might be working in a campus, a large warehouse environment, a shop environment, a large office environment. And I generally don't leave my desk or go far without my mobile device. Now someone might ring my extension or my DDI. In this example, one of the people in the business is ringing me on my extension 4903 and hitting call on the screen. The call not only rings on my desk device, but also on my Android. Now you may say, gee, a mobile call, that's pretty exciting. If I answer the call, what I'm actually doing now is making an extension call over the Wi-Fi. That's not a mobile call. I haven't tromboned and rung 027XXX. I've actually rung the extension, and what we call SIM ring, it's ringing the Android, the Jabber on the Android, and I'm able to take the call from there, within the business, within the campus, on the Wi-Fi. If I move to another office within the corporate environment that's got a replicated environment, I could just walk in and take a call as if I'm in my home environment. It's transparent, quite simple and easy to use. Now one other thing that's of interest is through Active Directory we have Jabber operating within the Windows environment, and also we have presence and availability from the little pies within Outlook. And a great example of how the integration works is that we can roll over Bob Iswar. We can see that he's in a meeting, but we do need to make a phone call. We can just go over there and we see now that Bob is being called on his tablet from the integration within Outlook. That can be answered, and then now we have a video call between the two devices. So very powerful stuff there, really demonstrating the Outlook integration and the Active Directory integration between the Ready Cloud collaboration and Jabber and the Exchange environment. So that's pretty much the end of the demo. Let's quickly recap on what we've shown. We've shown calls between IP phones and with cameras, making phone calls with video. We're showing phone calls, instant messaging, presence, Active Directory integration, and click to call using Jabber and using Outlook from the Microsoft environment here on the Windows 8. We've shown instant messaging and calling from a tablet device using Jabber, and we've shown receiving calls as well on the move using Jabber on the Android device on the Samsung. All connecting to the cloud via the internet securely and reliably. So that's the demo. That's encompassing various devices. Again, the intent is to give you the foundation to actually expand on what you might want to show your customer from this scenario. So one final thing, team, and that's packing down. So you might have noticed the box was hidden away. We had it hidden away under the desk. We also used just a little bit of foam here just to keep the lid open, to let a little bit of air circulate. It does get a little bit warm in here if it's all closed up. So please try to remember to just put a bit of foam there just to leave the lid open during the demonstration. We'd expect the environment's going to be running for a couple of hours, so it will get warm. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take you through the pack down. Okay, so let's run through packing it down. Pretty much in reverse of how we set it up, but we'll run through it anyway. We'll unplug each of the phones. And as I mentioned, a little bit of force required just to pop that off. Same on both phones. power here for the laptop. We'll just tidily put that back over in the left hand part of the demonstration. We can also unplug the power now, of course, as well. We'll take the cables, just roll those up, pop them in the bottom, then we'll pop the phones in. Generally put them upside down with a little bit of protection between them. Pop these in. Again, a little bit of protection. We pop the laptop in, and we may position our other mobile devices that are on the road with us. We'll pop those here on the top. Let's not forget to power them off too, please, so they're not sitting there using all their batteries. So remember to power off each of the mobile devices, and ideally the laptop as well. We then have our packing, which we put there. One last thing to disconnect, obviously our internet. This cable will be with the pack as well, in case there's a bit of a distance to the nearest outlet, which you would have hopefully arranged with the customer before you got there. A little bit more packing in there. Let's not forget any bits of foam that are lying around. I think we're pretty much done there. Then we can lock it down, and there we have it. That's the demo packed up and ready to go to the next demonstration. Key things to remember there: the internet cable, the power cable, so on and so forth. Thanks a lot.